Tonight, two aces take to the hill with contrasting styles. Rays left-hander David Price gets it done with power, boasting the best fastball in the American League. Meanwhile, for the Mets, right-hander R.A. Dickey reinvented himself, discovering a knuckleball. And now he is tied for the Major League lead with 9 wins. These two aces collide tonight on Sun Sports. We welcome you to Tropicana Field and the continuation of interleague baseball. The American League and the National League squaring off. And here at the Trop in the form of the Tampa Bay Rays hosting the New York Mets. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis in just a moment. Great to have you with us here tonight as the Rays now run second, tied for second, a game back in the American League's Eastern Division. And what a great pitching matchup. You talk about contrast. We have it here tonight. David Price, the power arm, and the knuckleball of the veteran R.A. Dickey.
Different ways to get it done. When you look at these two pitchers, the success very similar with their wins, where they rack up in the league. However, the styles and manner in which they get it done, not even on the same planet. David Price, more of your conventional style pitcher as far as his stuff, the fastball, the curveball, the changeup, the cutter. However, that being said, even those pitches are on a different level from everybody else, and you see what it is amounted to for David Price. On the flip side, you've got R.A. Dickey, and he's going to be majority knuckleball. That being said, it's not your grandfather's knuckleball. He throws a harder knuckleball, and he's very efficient with it. Keeps it in the strike zone, occasionally goes to the fastball when he's way behind in the count, and you see the success that he's had. 9 wins, ERA under 2.5, and a lot of strikeouts. These two pitchers get it done in way different ways, but it's going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight.
And here is a look at tonight's starting pitchers presented by your local Southern Ford dealers. R.A. Dickey pitching to the tune of 9-1, and David Price 8-3 on the hill for the Rays tonight. This evening, the Rays' 6th broadcast auction. We have two aces on the mound, and we'll have Todd Callis, our own ace, to describe and prepare you for tonight's broadcast auction coming up next.
Stadium. The Mets and the Rays, by the way, middle game of this 3-game series. Look at that. It's the Rays broadcast auction. This is where it's all happening tonight. Here are the items that you can bid on. We'll go through them a little quicker this time than we did in the pregame show. A hitting lesson with Carlos Pena. Kids 10 through 18, 4 of them get on the field. Picture taken with Carlos, a 1-hour lesson. You also get a personally autographed bat. And also a BP cap and Rays t-shirts and a photo with Carlos. Then you have a pitching lesson with tonight's starter David Price. Price will offer a 1-hour lesson as well to kids 10 through 18. You get on the field. You get a personalized Youth Rays jersey for each participant, and that will also be a photo with David and the participants as well. You can be a Rays executive for a day. This is the third of our 5 big ticket items, and it is you and 3 guests get to go to lunch with Andrew Friedman and Matt Silverman. Then you get a private stadium tour for those 4, you and your 3 guests, 4 Avante or Home Plate Club tickets, a pregame meeting with Joe Madden, plus a lot more. The All-Star Package, a trip for 2 to Kansas City for the All-Star Game coming up on July the 10th. It's the 83rd annual All-Star Game. You get 2 tickets to the game, 2 tickets to the Home Run Derby, accommodations for a double room for 3 nights, and then 2 American League All-Star jerseys, plus an autographed baseball from every Rays player who makes the All-Star Game. You have the party at the Trop. 16 of you can go into a suite. It includes food items. Don Zimmer will visit the suite. Raymond will visit the suite. Also an opportunity to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. 4 pregame passes for a Rays home game, and you can throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Those are the 5 big ticket items. Our last opportunity for you to participate is the Madden Summer Social. Tickets are $250. They're limited. 100 tickets available. It is July the 15th after the Rays-Red Sox game. You can meet and greet with Joe, the coaching staff, the players from 5 to 7, and all that can be yours if you go online to raysbaseball.com/broadcast auction and make your bid. All of this will benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation and the Tampa General Hospital Children's Medical Center. We'll have baseball in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Quite a matchup. The Rays, David Price. The Mets, R.A. Dickey. Enjoy all the action right around the corner from Tropicana Field right here on Sun Sports.
Nine 2-out runs. Terry Collins lineup tonight. We'll have Andres Torres leading off in center field. Daniel Murphy hits second in front of the third baseman David Wright. Scott Hairston is in right field hitting cleanup with Jason Bay in left. Vinny Rottino is the DH. Ike Davis is at first base. The catcher hitting 8th is Mike Nakias, and Omar Quintanilla is at shortstop. He bats 9th.
Now taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, left-hander David Price. You see the season numbers there. Loves pitching here at Tropicana Field. 5 starts here at the Trop, 4-1 record, ERA of .96. He's given up just 4 earned runs in 37 2/3 innings in this building.
So here's Torres to lead it off. First pitch of this game is a strike call presented by Pinch a Penny. Fastball in there at 93 to start things. David right back with another one, a fastball at 94, and that is strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Now the pitch and a ground ball, base hit through the hole and into left. So Torres with a single.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Rays defense as it lines up in the outfield. Left to right, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Will Rhymes, Elliot Johnson, Sean Rodriguez, and Carlos Pena. Jose Lobaton will be behind the plate.
So the Mets put the leadoff man aboard, Daniel Murphy. Left-handed hitting second baseman. And the pitch to him is a strike. Murphy at 283. Down and away, and it's 1-1. Another fastball. Murphy struck out his first 3 times up in the game last night. Looped a single into center in the 6-run 7th, and that drove in 2 runs. Price misses down with another fastball in the mid-90s.
Well, David Price, he will, like he does most starts, comes out, establishes that fastball to the righties and the lefties, tries to do it to both sides of the plate early on, serve notice.
And a toss into the dirt at first base.
This New York Met team, you see Torres just 2 out of 4 in the stolen bases, do not steal a lot of bases. We saw them come out aggressively in the ball game last night, so you're never sure.
And another toss over there.
Talking about serving notice, I think Terry Collins was coming into this series here, tough place to play, Tropicana Field, and came right at the Rays, attacked them early with a couple of stolen bases, and then really poured it on late. A lot of 2-out runs.
And Torres is a guy who could run if they so choose. This pitch is high, and it's 3-1. He had 19 steals last year, and a couple years ago with the Giants, he had 26 stolen bases. Early in his career in the minor leagues, he stole 65 bases one year. And he's on the move. A little chop down to first. Pena will make the play unassisted. Murphy is out of there, and Torres moves into second.
Well, a form right there of being aggressive, figuring in a 3-1 count for sure. Murphy's going to get the fastball. He's seen a couple of them, so he's seen the release point, has it timed up. Put the runner in motion, stay out of the double play. And that works just as well as a bunt. That's going to be the key. And I think you'll see both managers in one form or another be aggressive tonight, because you figure when they do get base runners, these 2 guys that are out there don't give up very much. So you got to try to take advantage of anybody who gets on base.
David Wright having a great year. And the first pitch to him is The breaking ball, the curve ball too low. 1 ball, no strikes. He is the 3rd leading hitter in the National League. 2nd in on base percentage and 6th in slugging percentage. Pitch away. So we've seen a curveball and a changeup to right, recognizing what a great year he's having.
Part of that maturation process for David Price too, where normally he would just come out firing bullets all over the place. Pitching now.
There's a strike. 2-1. Let's take a look at what he's done with runners in scoring position this year.
Oh, you see the difference. A 12-point difference in average. Not a huge deal overall, but look at the extra base hits compared to the amount of singles with runners in scoring possession. A much higher rate of extra base hits last year. Part of the reason you see his ERA over a run lower this year.
Fastball down and in. And that runs the count to 3-1.
I think that's one of the amazing things when you look at David Price stats and his breakout. He gave up 69 extra base hits last year in 34 starts. This year, he's given up just 12 extra base hits, 5 home runs, and 7 doubles. That's it.
And he comes in with a strike, finds the strike zone with a pitch at 95, and the count is full. Well, he's had the velocity, the sustained velocity, but he's also had command of other pitches.
That's right. That's right. His secondary pitches have come a long way from where they were last year.
3-2. Here it is. And it's inside, off the plate a bit with the fastball. So he was careful with David Wright, and he walks him.
Well, here it is. He's trying to go for that strikeout on the inside corner, surprise him without a swing, and that was that close.
So the Mets, with a couple of men on, they scored the 1 unearned run in the first inning last night. And now Scott Hairston. And look at the difference for Hairston, lefties and righties. Because he might not face another lefty as tough as Price this year, but he has really gone to work. 7 of his 8 home runs. Now both runners going. Throw to second. They're going to get him there. He is out of there. The Mets try to pull off a double steal, and Lobaton paid no mind to Torres at third, and Wright is caught down at second base.
Well, Terry Collins again figuring opportunities, probably not going to be that many of them, so let's be aggressive. They try the double steal, and you see David Wright there was kind of standing up and a little flat-footed as he tried to get it going. By the time he got down into his running form, took a little bit too long, and Lobaton guns him.
Now pitch down to Hairston. Let's take a look at that throw.
And he gets rid of it quick, and I mean right there, Sean Rodriguez just catch it and let David Wright slide into the tag.
Mike Everett, the crew chief, on the call at second. That's going to be a strike. It started out there and picked up the corner. 2-1. So Torres is at third with 2 outs. Wright caught stealing. And a little tapper off the end of the plate. Another changeup. The count is 2-2. That pitch right there has been good this year for David because of the arm action.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We saw how many times last year that he'd go to that changeup, but it was low 80s, and you could really pick it up because he'd slow the arm down. He's throwing it now.
And a big cut and a foul ball back.
You know, it's part of what makes, Jeremy Hellickson so successful. Jeremy's not overpowering with the velocity, but his arm action on the changeup is so good, and he throws it enough, as David is starting to, that it actually will gain you feet on your fastball. All of a sudden, that 91, 92 mile an hour fastball of Hellickson looks 94, 95 because they're just not quite sure. Changeup fastball. Well, you take that with David Price's stuff, you can see how he eats guys up, especially with that fastball in.
Price making his 13th start. Runner at third, and a swing and a miss. The toss down to first. Ball got away from Lobaton, but the toss to Pena completes the strikeout and ends the inning. Man left at third. Rays coming in to hit, no score. And a walk. The caught stealing help. Then we go to the bottom half of the first. Desmond Jennings leads it off in left, followed by Carlos Pena and then B.J. Upton. Matt Joyce hits cleanup in front of the DH Hideki Matsui. Sean Rodriguez at second. Jose Lobaton catches. Elliott Johnson hits eighth. And Will Rhymes, the number 9 hitter, plays third.
Now taking the mound tonight for the New York Mets, right-hander R.A. Dickey making his 13th start of the season. The numbers spectacular, especially when you look at the number of walks, just 19 and 81 innings from a knuckleballer.
And here is Desmond Jennings, and that first knuckleball ended 73, and that's a strike.
He will change speeds on that knuckleball, but he throws, on average, I think over the course of baseball history, a harder type of knuckleball.
This one is wide.
You see right there, you don't see many get up near 80 miles an hour. And that's why he's able to power it into the zone.
And that's lifted up the right side, out of play.
Let's take a quick look at our scouting report on R.A. Dickey, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. Well, as most men out there, you prefer the nice, slow dance. Not R.A. Dickey. He goes fast dance. He likes to get after it with the velocity on that knuckleball. And so efficient.
And Jennings is out on strikes. A cut and a miss.
You talk about efficiency right there, picking up a strikeout on it. He's averaged 14.2 pitches per inning as a knuckleballer. Incredible. You see that right there? Not a whole lot of dancing. Desmond does miss it, and he's on a stretch. His last 4 starts, he's 4-0 with a .29 earned run average, and he struck out now 39 hitters in his last 31 innings, and doing it at an average of under 13 pitches an inning. Amazing.
Well, he's gone 25 innings now without giving up a run. Adding the third of an inning here, he's chalked up in this one. 25 consecutive innings, no runs. He has the 8th best earned run average going right now in the National League. 1 strike the count to Carlos Pena.
How about this too? He's given up 36% of his earned runs this year in 1 game. Back in April, he lost a game to the Braves. He gave up 8 earned runs in that game.
Yeah, 4 1/3 innings.
Yeah,
8 runs.
22 on the season.
Now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's his only loss of the year. He opened the season by beating the Braves and the Phillies, then lost to the Braves on the 18th of April, and no losses since then. 7 consecutive wins. He does have a couple no decisions in the mix. And he strikes out Pena.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Mets defense, and hopefully that gets brought into play here at some point tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Jason Bay, Andres Torres, and Scott Harrison. Across the infield, third to first, David Wright, Omar Quintanilla, Daniel Murphy, and Ike Davis. Mike Nikias will be behind the plate.
And there's a knuckleball that drops in there. So we've seen the low 70s and the low 80s. And this one off the mitt of Nikias, and it's in the 60s, low 60s. Let's put in.
Nikias has that hybrid catcher's glove, almost more like a first baseman's mitt. Try to.
And a little chop to third, and a barehanded attempt by Wright. That had a little knuckle on it and knuckled away from David Wright as he tried to make the barehanded pickup, knowing from his childhood days playing with and against Upton that there was some speed going down the line.
And I think that it hit off of David Wright's knuckle. A whole lot of knuckling going on there. Here it is. And this is what the element of speed and hustle will do. It adds pressure to the defense. You're right. He knows B.J. Upton. He knows he can get down the line. He's got to make a do-or-die play, and he doesn't.
Well, here's Matt Joyce. Now the Rays have some speed at first, and here's the other thing about Dickey. You think of a knuckleball pitcher as a guy that you could just run whenever you want to, and Dickey thought he had him picked off there, and I was just about to say he has a great pickoff move, and he just about got B.J. there.
Boy, I thought that was close, and that may be a sign that B.J.'s getting ready to go. With the shift, it's going to be a tough cover for Quintanilla.
Chopper foul off the bat of Matt Joyce. Well, he has a couple pickoffs this year. He picked off 5 runners last year, and that was no fluke. When he was with Seattle in 08, he had 5 pickoffs.
Yeah, typically, and we saw it with Tim Wakefield when he was with Boston. It's a track meet.
But not with this guy.
Well, he's not giving up a stolen base this year. And there's BJ. But, again, with Price on the mound, R.A. Dickey, the way he's throwing the ball, maybe this is the game that you take chances. You got to do something to try to score.
Joyce fouls it again. A tapper, right side.
He gets that knuckleball to home plate quicker than most. He's got a slide step, a good pickoff move. Nice combination.
And a knuckleball pitcher doesn't walk many. It's a foul. He would qualify among an elite control pitcher with what he's done. His strikeout and walk ratio, the innings pitched to walks. 81 innings coming in, 10th in the National League. 19 walks in all of that time. 78 strikeouts. Up the right side, going to be pulled foul. Down beyond the bullpen. Count still 2 strikes. 2 pitchers out of Tennessee. David Price out of Vanderbilt. And R.A. Dickey out of the University of Tennessee. B.J. back in at first. And it's low, blocked by the New York catcher.
That's the other thing. You have to have a catcher back there that's going to be active, you know, in case a knuckleball does get away from R.A. Dickey. Got to be able to block balls, a lot of hop.
Foul ball rolled up the right side again.
Well, you can see from that camera shot there of B.J. Upton leading off, he has really cut down on his lead over there after that scare on the pickoff throw by Dickey. See if he gets back out there. Not quite to the cut.
And the pitch is down. It'll take the count to 2-2.
Well, Matt Joyce is staying disciplined in what you want to do off a knuckleballer. It's the old phrase, see it high, let it fly, see it low, let it go. So you see that ball coming out of the hands, you know, below thigh high, just let it go because it's typically going to bottom out.
2-2 with the runner going, and the pitch is skied to center. Torres is there waiting and makes the catch to retire the side. Rays lead one. We go to the second, no score. On the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles, Toyota moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife and Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. And by Nissan, get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all. Jason Bay, the big left fielder, leads it off. First pitch from David Price, and that's in there for a strike. Bay just recently off the disabled list, hitting 182 for the year. The pitch inside, it's 1-1. Fastball right there, mid-90s. 1-2. And a cut to miss. So Bay is out on strikes on the breaking ball. Let's check in with Todd Callis now. Todd?
It is the 6th annual Rays broadcast auction, Dwayne, and here's one of the items. You can be a Rays executive for the day. What this entails is you can have lunch with you and 3 guests, along with Matt Silverman and Andrew Friedman. A private stadium tour for your 3 guests as well as yourself. 4 Avant-Air home plate club tickets, 4 VIP pregame passes for a Rays home game, a meet and greet with manager Joe Madden during batting practice, a pregame meet and greet with Rays broadcasters, a delivery of the lineup card, which is very cool, with a Rays player or coach prior to the game, a personalized Rays jersey, an inning in the radio booth, and an inning with me. I hope not to detract too much from the price that we get for that item. Now, right after this pitch, we'll show you what the, here we go, right now. We have these bids right now. Carlos Pena, current bid for his hitting lesson, $1,800. The executive of the day, which I just described, $1,800. Those two are both the same right now. Then you go down to the All-Star package, the trip to Kansas City, the Home Run Derby, and the All-Star Game tickets, $2,600. The Party of the Trop suite for 16 is at $1,400. And the pitching lesson with David Price right now is trailing. He won't be pleased with that, $900. There are also 73 tickets remaining for the Madden Summer Social. Go to RaysBaseball.com/broadcast auction to bid on these items, guys.
Well, some great items, and the auction off and running. Swing and a miss. Tino up there. Missed the changeup, and that'll take the count to 2-2. Jason Bay struck out on the curveball. So some great items in that Rays broadcast auction available. Full count. Both Rutino's home runs have been against lefties. Price pitched around to lead off base hit in the first inning. Left a runner at third. 3-2. And he walks him. 3-2 breaking ball.
Yeah, and I think it's easy to nitpick from up here, but I think that's where David Price, with his fastball and the fact that he's been able to command it so very well to both sides of the plate. Full count, scoreless ball game, second inning, Vinny Rutino at the plate. Just give yourself a good 96 fastball down and away. Let him roll over. No need to get too fancy there.
No, it'll be Ike Davis. Davis, the big first baseman. And the pitch is a strike. Davis showing great promise a year ago, and then he had the ankle injury in the collision with David Wright. Swing and a miss. The count is 0-2, and he's had a difficult time finding his comfort level at the plate this year, although last night he connected for a big home run in the 7th inning. Sweeper there.
Yeah, he kept it in the strike zone for a long time. That's what made that pitch so effective.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
A lot of times you get a guy that doesn't really trust the break on his curveball, and so you kind of try to throw it low. David Price just threw that. Understood. I trust the break. I trust my grip. Let it do its thing.
Runner goes. The pitch is down, and the throw is not in time. And a great backup, a stop by Rodriguez as the ball got through and past Johnson. Rodriguez made a diving stop, tumbled beyond the ball, but stopped it in shallow center field on the steal by Rutino.
These are the little things that come back in close ball games. Look at the hustle. Sean Rodriguez taking an angle and diving to knock that down. He doesn't do that. There's a chance that Rutino could move up to third. Less than 2, obviously greater chance of scoring. Nice hustle play by Sean.
Little looper toward the line and left. That's going to fall foul. The count will hold at 2-2. Davis within a couple feet of giving New York an early lead. Well, the Mets are showing they will be aggressive in this series.
Yeah, and you have to in this game, because you're just not going to be able, if you're Terry Collins, if you're Joe Madden, you're not going to sit back and say, well, you know what, we're just going to pound this guy. We're going to sit back and put 3-4 hits together. You got to figure the way these guys have been throwing the baseball, runs, opportunity is going to be tough to come by, so you're going to have to pressure the defense.
So they are forcing the issue on the Rays defense, and that's why that extra effort by Sean Rodriguez on the steal is so important. The Rays were not impressive last night, and it has been a struggle defensively for this team. Fastball fouled back into the screen. Chatting with Joe Madden tonight, he said he still just cannot explain it. Talked with him about different players who are here because of injuries and the fact that they played all over the place. he says he doesn't really think that has anything to do with it, but he cannot explain why the defense has been so shaky.
Well, I think for me, it went through a tough stretch. It became highlighted, and guys are thinking about it too much.
The pitch is a ball in the dirt, and it skips by Lobaton. So a curveball, and Rutino goes to third. So a wild pitch on the curveball, charged to David Price. That's the one thing that Madden would concede, that it's to the point now, especially now, where he thinks that a handful of the players might have it be in their heads a little bit.
I think there's no question about it, especially when you've seen some of the types of errors. The error last night with Elliott Johnson, the error that Ben Zobrist had that was similar. I mean, they're just ground balls that are routine, that are going right through the legs. You don't see that.
Infield in now, and the fastball is high. So the second consecutive walk by Price. And there are runners now at first and third. Tonight's Rays game presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. So the Mets left a man at third in the first. They have a man at third right now and at first on the walk to Davis. Mike McKee, the catcher.
Joe will move his middle infielders back now that you've got an opportunity here for a double play. Put him at double play depth.
And a swing and a miss on the fastball. Late swing at 96 from David Price. And a ground ball, second base. Rodriguez to Johnson. One first base. The Rays get them both. 4-6-3. The off-speed pitch. The change leading to the double play. Mets leave a man. Bottom of the second coming. No score.
Via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Hideki Matsui, who is the designated hitter tonight for the Rays, will open the home half of the second. Sean Rodriguez and Jose Lobaton to follow. Matsui takes the pitch for a ball, down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Dickey gives you the hurry up motion, and then that knuckleball at a variety of speeds, but often harder than you're used to seeing a knuckleball thrown. This one is too low. 2-0. He's pretty reliable in that 72 to 76 mile per hour range, but we've already seen it in the low 60s and in the low 80s.
We just saw a fastball at 84, which was about the same velocity that Chris Young was featuring last night.
And a fly ball looped into center field. That's going to hang up as Torres gets there to make the catch. One away here in the second inning. Let's check in with Todd.
All right, Dwayne, here's our next item in the Rays broadcast auction. Tonight's starting pitcher David Price will teach kids 10 through 18 for 1 hour. Pitching lessons with David Price includes group instruction for the 4 kids, a group photo of the participants with David Price at the lesson, the 1 hour session, 8 tickets to a Rays game, 8 pregame field passes, a youth Rays jersey for every participant, personalized youth Rays jersey for kids 10 through 18. And guys, so far 66 tickets remaining on the Madden Summer Social, and the current bid for the Price pitching lesson is at $1,700, guys.
Got a little movement on that, which is great. Individual time with David Price. Individual time and instruction from Carlos Pena as well. 2 of those great prices. Well, Sean Rodriguez has gone out short to first. Here's Jose Lobaton. And he takes the strike. Lobaton, a big cut. 0-2. Back into the screen. R.A. Dickey, Robert Allen Dickey. Started to call him R.A. in middle school, and it's been that way ever since. Way wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Lobaton. There's a swing and a miss. Lobaton out on strikes. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays. We head to the third. No score.
No doubt.
Well, David Price hooked up against R.A. Dickey here. As we go to the third, Omar Quintanilla will lead it off. The number 9 hitter, then back around to Andres Torres, and then Daniel Murphy. And the pitch, first pitch, is a fastball in there for a strike. Oh, 2. Big swing at the big curveball. Quintanilla out of the University of Texas, spent some time with the Rockies. Pitch is wide. 1-2. Foul ball off his foot. Still a ball, 2 strikes.
Now we've seen one difference in David Price's approach against left-handed hitters for the Mets is he's been basically majority fastball, cutters, a couple of curveballs. A lot more curveballs tonight. We saw that with Ike Davis. We saw the good one he threw to Quintanilla. A little change in the approach.
And a tap foul. The 2 aces squaring off here as we take a look at the Bay Area Acura Dealers inside look. R.A. Dickey with 9 wins. David Price with 8. Both atop their respective leagues, and only the second time since 1921 when wins leaders in those 2 leagues square off. There's a strike call. Strikeout number 3 for David Price.
And everybody had this strike 3 call before Lance Barrett gave it to him. David Price knew it. Quintanilla knew it. Lobaton got ready to throw it down. Right there. Everybody concedes. And then you get the call. Wait for it.
Torres takes that first pitch low and in. A ball, no strikes. One and one. 2 very different approaches by Price and Dickey. Two balls and a strike. Torres hitting .297 against left-handed pitching. Came into the game at .205 overall. And a little late getting to that fastball as he fouled it. Now 2-2. Cut and a miss. Torres out of there. Back-to-back strikeouts, and Price here to these 2 hitters showing signs of hitting his stride.
Well, this is just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Here's Daniel Murphy. Murphy trying to get out early on the fastball, fouls it. That's a strike. The ground out was to first base in the first inning. And a little tapper again, foul on a fastball. As you can see, Murphy try to start early and open early and just get a little piece of those 2 fastballs.
Get it started. I mean, that's what guys will have to do. Left on left. Some guys will have to cheat. Leaves that outside corner open.
And Price took a shot out there at that corner. Just missed at 98.
Now he is looking at the same thing that we are. You see. Oof. Just misses off.
And a swing and a miss. That'll take care of that with that curveball. So he strikes out the side. He got Murphy to 1-2 on the hard stuff. Gets him on the curve. Quintanilla out on strikes. Torres out on strikes. And Murphy out on strikes. No score.
Field. Let's take a look at tonight's text poll question. Who is the greatest knuckleball pitcher of all time? TB1, Joe Niekro. TB2, Phil Niekro. TB3, Hoyt Wilhelm.
Well, the first pitch is pulled foul.
Whoa.
Elliott Johnson ripping that one into the stands. Look out in there.
TB4, Tim Wakefield, or TB5, Ted Lyons. Dwayne, I know that you've got a guy that you would like in for a write-in candidate, maybe a little TB6 action.
Yeah, there are a couple of guys, and you always get into trouble when you make lists, and that's a great list of knuckleball pitchers right there. But Eddie Cicotte, who pitched for the Chicago White Sox, who was involved in the Black Sox scandal. In fact, historically, he's one of the guys who's known, if he didn't invent the knuckleball, there's a guy named Summers along with him in that same period in the early 1900s who started throwing that knuckleball. And alternately, people will argue that one or the other maybe invented that pitch. But Cicotte is the guy who really made the pitch popular and was a big winner for the White Sox, and then was, with the 8 men out, banned from baseball because of the Black Sox scandal. Elliott Johnson out here as soon as that throw from the catcher arrives to first. That's the 4th strikeout. So he's one guy in that list, and the other guy is Charlie Huff, who, by the way, had a distinct influence on the guy we're looking at right here, R.A. Dickey. And Huff is a guy who won a lot of games in the major leagues and pitched for a long time. And R.A. Dickey might tell you he definitely should be on that list.
Well, Eddie Cicotte, he was cut from the list. You know, Todd Callis, you give him a little leeway with the broadcast auction. He's going to run that. Apparently now he's running content for our show. And Charlie Huff is, someone that we both thought, should make that list. And Ted Lyons, a pitcher that I've never heard of.
Yeah,
you came up with some interesting numbers on him.
Yeah, he pitched 23 years in the major leagues and won a ton of games, 260 games.
Well, that's the thing, too. I mean, usually a guy 23 years in the big leagues, 260 wins, you've heard of him.
Yep.
I thought Ted Lyons was like an extra in Cheers.
He pitched in the 20s and into the 40s for the White Sox and just won a ton of games. A knuckleball guy.
You hang around that long and win 260 games. Shame on me.
1-1 the count here. Yeah, the other guy with Cicotte was Ed Summers, who may have invented that pitch, but Cicotte really made it a popular and acceptable pitch to the point where he was, if not the ace, certainly one of the top starters on the White Sox. Oh, look at that. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, I mean, when your catcher jerks like that just to catch it, you're supposed to hit it? I mean, come on. Watch Nickius. Yeah. Okay, now go up there, boys, and put together a string of 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah, just stick the mitt up there, close your eyes, and catch it. That's exactly what he did. 1 strike the count. A little chopper to the right side. Murphy has this one, and Jennings is out of there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll head into the 4th. No score in this game.
Broadcast auction. In case you're just tuning in, this is the 6th annual Rays broadcast auction. You can go to raysbaseball.com/broadcast auction to bid on items or learn more about them. Here are our current bids. Carlos Pena, the hitting lesson, 14 bids, $3,303. Someone likes the number 3 right there. The Rays executive for the day, up to $4,600. This is the most we have on any bid right now. $4,600 on Rays executive for the day. Lunch with Andrew Friedman, a tour of the stadium. You also get a little meet and greet there before the game with Joe Madden. Hand out the lineup card, all kinds of good stuff. All-star package is up to $3,500, guys. Trip to Kansas City. You also get 2 tickets to the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game, hotel and airfare. Party at the Trop, 22 bids. The current latest high bid is $3,600 as Elliott Johnson makes the play for the first out. Carlos Pena has to stretch but holds the bag. $3,600 for the Party at the Trop bid. And finally, David Price is getting doubled up almost by Carlos Pena. $1,700 for the David Price pitching lesson for 1 hour, kids 10 through 18. Price is at $1,700. Pena is at $3,300. 60 tickets left on the Madden Summer Social. And if there's any Eddie Seacott fans out there, I apologize for taking him off the list. I was kind of hoping Dennis Springer, the former Ray, would be on there. Guys, back to you.
Hey, we might have to throw Astro the dog into that package with David Price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, David would want Astro with him. I say this. Todd was able to get Eddie Seacott axed from the text poll.
Yeah.
I say we get that laser pointer axed from the board out there. He takes out Eddie Seacott. We take out the pointer. Because I don't know about you, but following that thing back and forth, I got a headache.
It's really getting tough to follow now. And it's pointed right at you. It's coming your way.
He may start trying to get us in between innings.
Yeah, 1-2 the count to Scott Hairston. Yeah, he's a man dangerous with a laser in his hand. 1 away here in the 4th. Hairston at the plate. And strike 3 call. Hairston caught looking. That pitch started wide and cut over. Strikeout number 6. Hey, here's tonight's AT&T trivia question. Esteban Yan, the only Rays pitcher to hit a home run. Who was the opposing pitcher? And that is really going inside Rays baseball.
I just love how every single year we get to roll in that home run. We're going to watch it every year.
Yeah.
One way or the other, it's going to make its way into an interleague trivia, and we're going to watch it.
2-0 the count to Jason Bay.
And
well, some things just don't get old.
That's what
They have a great shelf life.
That's right. So true.
That's what I'm shooting for. 2-0, little comebacker to the hill. Price with the underhanded toss, and 1-2-3 go the Mets. Bottom of the 4th coming up. No score. gives us an opportunity to get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Esteban Yan, the only Rays pitcher to hit a home run. Who was the opposing pitcher? And that's Bobby Jones, Bobby J. Jones off the New York Mets. That at Shea Stadium. Joe McEwen ran out of room. Esteban Yan goes deep. Carlos Pena leads off and takes a big cut, missing the knuckleball. Strike one. R.A. Dickey on the hill. Coming out of the University of Tennessee, he was a first-round pick by the Texas Rangers. And B.A., one of the more unusual stories out of the draft ever signed. He was a first-round pick, and the Rangers, after they drafted him, suspected that he had an elbow situation in which he had no ulnar collateral ligament.
How about that? I think it was on the cover of Baseball America. They saw a picture of him and didn't like the way his arm was hanging.
Yeah, how about that for an eye, a medical eye?
Yeah, right.
Swing and a miss, and it cost him as he strikes out Carlos Pena for his sixth strikeout. He had signed for $810,000, and they reconsidered and said, hey, you have no ulnar collateral ligament, and so they cut it, and he signed for $75,000 then.
How about that? I mean, you're a first rounder, excited, and then all of a sudden a photo, don't like your elbow, MRI, no UCL, bonus that we'd agreed upon at over 8 goes to less than 1.
Yep.
Now go get him. Help us win some ball games.
One strike the count here to BJ. A chopper fouled outside of third. BJ has the only hit for the Rays. That came in the first. An infield hit to third, and he bounced that one foul. Well, you know, he was pretty philosophical about it. He said, look, I grew up, I didn't have any money, and he goes, I never really took possession of the $810,000. So he said, I looked at it as if I had $75,000 and a chance to pitch. I mean, they told him that he shouldn't be able to do everyday things because either, and there were some who thought that he may have injured it and torn it, and it never repaired itself, never regenerated. And then others who said he just didn't have one, wasn't born with one.
Yep.
And they said he shouldn't be able to turn a doorknob without discomfort. He did all of those things. Pitched in high school. He pitched big time at the University of Tennessee. He did all the things that you would do if you had the ulnar collateral ligament. Didn't bother him.
Well, that's like the boat I'm in right now. I mean, after having torn it for the third time.
BJ's out on strikes on the knuckleball. Back-to-back strikeouts in the fourth inning, and that's 7.
It's amazing because I can't tell that I have no UCL. I mean, I can do everything normal. You know, you go to the gym, you can work out, do all of these different things. It doesn't bother me. The only thing that I can't do is pitch at an elite level on the mound.
We think you'll be able to drop down.
Well, that's the thing. I maybe could drop, maybe develop a knuckleball.
Yeah. Well, they just said without that, there's no stability.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that you can do is build up the muscles around it to where you can keep it stable.
There's a long drive down the right field line, and that ball is foul. Matt Joyce, home run distance, but he pulled it foul. Well, how about this? I mean, here's a knuckleball pitcher with command.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah, isn't that a conundrum? 3 ball counts, 34 in the season. I mean, that's just less than 3 per game.
Only one tonight. That was he went 3-2 to BJ and struck him out. 1-1 to count here now. It's inside. 2 balls and a strike. A foul ball. They said when that happened to him, he was more concerned about losing the chance to pitch, because that'd been his dream as a boy growing up and pitching in college. He was more concerned about that, losing that opportunity. And now here he is at 37, and he's 9-1. Another 3-ball count here, back-to-back 3-2. And Joyce out on strikes. He'll be tagged. He walked away from the plate anyway, so he's out of there. So Joyce strikes out, and I don't know how you could even come close to hitting this pitch. Look at the movement on that. No score through 4. Can't catch it, can't hit it.
Welcome back to the Subway 5th inning at Tropicana Field, where we stand scoreless.
David Price and R.A. Dickey. Mets with 1 hit. The Rays have 1 hit. Price has struck out 6. Here's Rattino, Vinny Rattino, and he takes the first pitch for a strike.
Well, when you know what you're getting with R.A. Dickey, Mets hitters no idea against David Price tonight. He is mixing his pitches.
His pitch is down. It's 1-1.
More than we normally see.
Well, David Price, after his 50th win of the year, or 50th win of the year, 50th win of his career already. He's had a good year, but it's not quite that good yet. Foul ball. But here's this young left-hander. This could be a milestone of sorts.
Yeah, they only won 50 games a year, like back in the 20s and 30s, when everybody had 47 CGs.
1890.
Right.
Yep.
That was the rolled-up sock and this wooden stick.
Price has struck out 4 of the last 6 to face him. Dickey has struck out 6 of the last 7 he has faced. Ground ball shortstop. Long throw from Johnson, and that's the first out. And it's time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. Some of the highlights of David Price as he's out for his 50th career victory, second in the Cy Young, balloting with 19 wins in 2010. Last year, 5th in strikeouts and a 2-time All-Star. Just as the Rays can count on David Price, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Here's Ike Davis. pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Big cut and a miss.
You know what I think is amazing is David Price, the year that he finished second in Cy Young, 19-6, 2.72 back in 2010. And I don't want to say light years and be overly dramatic, but he is a much better pitcher now than he was in 2010.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what's amazing. 19-6, 2.72. That just shows you his ceiling and what he's capable of doing.
Well, he'll tell you that he was a better pitcher in his own mind last year than he was the year before. Even though the record, the wins and losses didn't show that. That's what he feels and thinks. Better when he was 12-13 than 19-6. And this year, he's been a much better pitcher than either one of those seasons.
You take the best of both. The numbers from 2010, the pitching ability of 2011, and even up the ante there, because I think even with his mix of pitches this year, he's better than last year.
Comes back with a strike. And it's 3-2 to Davis. And you can get pitching lessons with him and maybe his dog Astro. We haven't officially
I like how you threw that
put
out
Astro
there.
in there yet, but we think it'd be good if he brought him along. And that's on the auction tonight. Foul ball. So the count all the way out here to Ike Davis.
Astro, a celebrity in his own right.
There you go. You've got an hour session. We're up to 4 youngsters. A group photo with David. Line drive into right, and that ball is going to be out of the reach of Joyce. Off the bottom of the wall. Davis heads into second with a double, and he's on for the second time tonight. Hit number 2 given up by David Price.
Well, Ike Davis swung and missed at a curveball in his first at-bat and really looked bad on it. He then almost flipped one fair down the left field line and has gotten better and better and better at that pitch. And this one just hangs enough that he's able to get the bat head out there and hit it. Look at that low line in the carry to be able to get over Joyce's head into the wall.
Now the catcher, Mike Nikias, up here. A home run with 10 runs batted in, 9 of 68 on the year. Got him on a double play ball to end the second inning. David misses. Fastball away. 1 ball, no strikes. Just to give you an idea, as good as R.A. Dickey's been, he's 9-1 this year. He has 50 career wins. He's 37 years old. And David Price going from number 50 in his career here tonight. 1-1. There's R.A. Dickey. The knuckleball really became a serious part of his life in 2005. And that came out of a meeting with Buck Showalter and Mark Connor and Oral Hershiser. This pitch is down. It's 2-1. He was with the Texas club at the time, and they asked him if he would seriously think about going to the minor leagues and becoming primarily a knuckleball pitcher. And he decided to give it a shot. A 2-1 count. Foul ball out of play, squares it. A Price tonight, 1 out into the 5th inning, has recorded 13 outs, 6 strikeouts, and 7 ground ball outs so far. A couple of good pitch count innings in the 3rd and 4th, up to 15 here in the 5th inning. Bouncer foul. Quintanilla is on deck. And a full count. Back-to-back 3-2 counts now. He went 3-2 to Davis, who doubled into right center. Now the 3-2. And a base hit up the middle off a fastball. Here comes Davis to the plate. The throw is offline. Stopped by Pena on a base hit up the middle. Davis scores, and the Mets take the lead 1-0.
Well, Nickius right there probably figuring in a 3-2 count. David Price does not want to walk me down in the order. He's looking for the heater, and he gets one. Gets it right off the end of the bat and is able to squeeze it up the middle outside of the dive of Sean Rodriguez, who was on the shortstop side of second base, and then the throw from B.J. Upton really just sailed offline. Really no chance to be able to get Ike Davis at the plate, and that's strike first.
So now there's a runner aboard. With one out, a run home. And here's Omar Quintanilla, the shortstop. He taps it foul, strike one. Oh, 2. Fastball at 96. And strike 3 call. Fired him up with a fastball again at 96. Strikeout number 7.
That was a low rider. Big time heat right at the bottom of the zone. Never loses its depth and catches that outside corner. That is beautiful.
Got to see it to hit it.
Right.
There's Andres Torres tossed to first. The runner back in. Pitch just missed. A little low there. Perhaps away. 1-0. Now it's 2-0. Off speed, and Price steps back off the mound.
No, I think David Price a little unhappy with himself, and maybe that opening fastball that Barrett called a ball, that looked to be all over the zone. And follows that up with a changeup below, now down in the count 2-0.
And it's turned out to be a 20+ pitch count here so far in this inning, after he'd had 2 low pitch count innings. Liner up the left side. That's going to be a fair ball. Jennings plays the carom. Nickius goes to third base. Torres stops at second as he lines a fastball into the left field corner. So the New York catcher advances to third and holds there.
Well, here's the pitch. This ball just ends up leaking back over across the plate. Torres puts a good swing on it and keeps that just a foot and a half or so fair down into the corner. See Nikias. He's trying to muster all the speed that he can, but even with 2 outs and going on contact, not able to come around to even attempt to score.
3 hits in this inning, 2 of them doubles. So a run on 3 hits. They have 4 hits in the game, and Jim Hickey's out there. Price up to 24 pitches in this inning. And before he works to Murphy, this will give him a little bit of a breather.
Well, right, because you could still make a couple pitches here and just get out of this inning down just 1 run. Another mistake could be 3-0 New York. You don't want to see that. And the Mets, another couple of doubles. That's what, 35 straight games now with a double. And David Price, who's done such a good job all year of limiting extra base hits, has been dinged up here with a couple.
And the pitch to Murphy is down. And you really want to end it here because David Wright is on deck.
Right. Literally.
Ground ball chopped through the right side. 1 run is in. Torres heads to the plate. He's going to score. Murphy didn't hit it hard, but between first and second, and that makes it 3-0 New York. So the Mets have an inning here, scoring 3 times.
Well, how about this too? Daniel Murphy, the left-handed hitter. You're trying to come in. That's a dangerous place because a lot of mistakes can be made in there. A good fastball down and away. He's able to just put the bat on it and squeeze it into the hole.
There's David Wright now.
And the only reason that we even bring that up is because Daniel Murphy, we remarked in his last at-bat about how much he was bailing. And we talked in between innings and said, well, all he's looking for is a fastball middle of the plate in that he can bail on because he's cheating and get that ball to right field. And that's exactly what he was obliged with, and he got the big hit.
There's a strike.
Now that's where you've got to be able to read that as a pitcher and as a catcher.
And go away.
That's right. When he's leaking like that, remember he struck him out with a breaking ball. He pulled himself so far out of there that he's telling you, I'm looking for something middle in. I'm cheating and I'm bailing. Well, you go in there.
Went down around Wright's feet, got the back foot out of the way. 2-1. Well, Murphy has the big hit here to make it a 3-run game. He's at first. And the same spot, down and in. 3-1. He's up in the mid-90s now in pitch count. 30 pitches in this inning. It's foul back. Right, a big cut and a big fastball. And a foul ball back. The Mets have scored 3 in this inning. 2 after 2 men were out. They scored 9 of their 11 runs last night with 2 outs. Harry Collins flanked by his bench coach Bob Guerin. Three-2 swing and a miss. He's out on strikes to retire the side. New York scores 3-0 Rays coming in to hit in the bottom of the 5th.
Rays. Mark, the Rays broadcast auction continues to grow. We're now in the 6th year supporting an unbelievable program with the Rays Baseball Foundation.
So much of the work we're proud of, and as you know, it focuses on youth and education programs, and today was a great example of that. We launched Matt Joyce's program, Reading with the Rays. Over 100,000 kids this summer are going to participate, Todd. It's amazing. 6 different counties, and what I love about it, because we try to focus on creating partnerships and sustainable programs, and so kids get points by reading their way around the bases, and they end up with game tickets. But what's great about it is we use the summer reading list from each of those school summer programs. And so kids gain or lose their ability to read over the summer, and this program is having a really lasting impact on kids learning to read.
We saw Matt Joyce there, and in the pregame show, we talked about how a local kid loves giving back to the community. Just so many other programs. A huge Helios partnership, too.
That's amazing. There was a $1 million gift announced just a couple of weeks ago. We had a great press conference here with Stu Sternberg and the folks from the Helios Foundation. We partnered with Take Stock in Children, and again, it's a 5-county-wide program, 5 years long. And so with the Take Stock partnership, it's going to become a $2 million program over the next 5 years. And you're talking about giving away somewhere close to 250 scholarships throughout the region. But equally as important, each of these kids will have mentors, and so their families are engaged, and they're going to go through rigorous hurdles they have to get through to get that scholarship. So it goes back to that theme of partnership and a lasting, impactful program.
Here we see some of the scholarships. You saw that check presentation, $1 million. That is an impressive number. The Jackie Robinson Foundation Academy Prep, Monty Irvin, USF Latino, so many different programs that you guys continue to stay involved with. Ground ball to David Wright, and quickly 2 outs here for the Rays as Sean Rodriguez grounds out. So many programs, and what you said earlier, it just rings so true. The sustainability. Right. Year in and year out, you're combining your efforts with the same people.
It's the truth. And the other one that comes to mind along those same lines is right here in South St. Petersburg. Yeah. There's a real graduation problem, and our players, so many of them through the dugout clubs, our friends at Jable have helped us create a program called the Walking School Bus. Kids, there was an issue of even being safe to walk to school. And so we found ways to not only create that possibility, but also engage their parents in the school and creating a better environment for them.
There you see the dugout club, Price's Pals, BJ's Bunch, and also Jennings Juniors. They all go around there and not only spend their own time, but their own money helping out this program.
That's the best part. I'm so proud of our guys. You know, when you look at that uniform, hopefully what you're seeing is that's my team, that's our guys, and we couldn't be more proud of them. And our players, as you see through that little snippet, really do embrace that. And there's so many wonderful things happening. We just had our first round of community fund grants. We do 2 rounds of 30 grants total. The second will be later this summer. And so 30 different organizations throughout Tampa Bay will receive grants directly from the foundation as well.
So here's where to go for the Rays broadcast auction. RaysBaseball.com/broadcast auction. We have 5 incredible items we've been talking about all night long. Right now, the highest bid for the Rays broadcast auction is Rays Executive for Days, up to $4,600. And we have less than 60 Madden Summer Social tickets remaining. Mark, thank you very much.
Thanks. Hey, I might bid so I can hang out with Andrew and Matt. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool right there. Rays broadcast auction, Rays Executive for the Day. Quick inning for R.A. Dickey. It's still 3-0 Mets.
Ricky and his knuckleball, and they've had a difficult time trying to track it. 9 strikeouts. He's given the Rays just 1 hit. Meanwhile, David Price touched for 3 runs in the 5th inning. Base hit by Mike Nikias. And then the 2-run single by Daniel Murphy capped the 3-run uprising. 2 of those runs coming with 2 outs. So we go to the 6th, and Scott Hairston leads off, taking a big cut at the fastball, trying to get out in front early, and he missed it. Well, there's Burke Badenhop starting to get loose. 99 pitches for Price. This number 100, and it's lined into left. A base hit. Leadoff single. And the Mets, for the first time since the 1st inning, have the leadoff man on base.
Well, that curveball right there didn't have the same depth from what we've seen from David most of the game today. This curveball breaks right into the swing of Hairston. He's able to just go out, get it, line it into left field.
5 of the last 7 hitters have hit their way on here in this game now against David Price. Here's Jason Bay. And the pitch is a strike. Bay has struck out and gone out pitcher first. One ball, 1 strike. It's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Price made 109 pitches in 5 innings against the Yankees in his last outing, and there's a base hit. Hairston stops at second. Off speed pitch up, and Bay has his first hit.
Well, David Price has been throwing an awful lot of off speed tonight. Here's a changeup. This ball stays same plane. Jason Bay, who's really not had a chance on the fastball tonight or last night for that matter, gets out on that changeup and lines it out into left field. And the Mets with 2 quick hits here in the 6th inning.
Yep. And that gives the Mets 6 out of their last 8. The DH, Vinny Rottino.
Well, the one thing you got to remember if you're David Price, it's nice to mix your pitches and to have other pitches to go to, but remember who you are.
And there's a liner up the right side. That's going to be a fair ball. Head toward the corner. Hairston's going to score. They're going to stop Bay at third on the double by Rottino. And the Mets tack on another run. That makes it 4-0. Fastball, and he took up the right side just fair.
Boy, you talk about a team getting hot in a hurry. That's exactly what's happened here. What is that now, Dwayne? 7 out of 9.
Yep.
This fastball here, he wants it away. Where does it end up? It ends up middle. Rottino just drops the bat head on it and is able to just squeeze it inside the line there down into right field.
So 3 straight hits to open the inning. Ike Davis will step in with the infield in. Davis has walked and doubled. And the pitch is inside. Fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Boston has a 4-1 lead over Miami in the top of the 7th inning. That's low, 2-0. Jose Reyes hit his 2nd home run of the year in the bottom of the 6th of that game. And that was the first hit the Marlins had collected off Felix Doubront tonight. It's now 4-1 Boston. 2-0 the count to Ike Davis. And there's ball 3. Davis, who singled, walked, and homered last night. That single was a bunt, has walked and doubled in this game. His 1-out double in the 5th led to their 3-run inning. And a chopper off the mitt of the leaping Pena into right. Bae scores. Martino goes to third as Davis chops home a run with a hopping single over the head of Carlos Pena. That's 8 of the last 10 hitters hitting their way aboard for the New York Mets.
Well, Ike Davis just rolls over that pitch and chops it hard enough. Gets a big hop and over the glove. You bring the infield in. Sneaks through.
Joe Madden out to make the pitching change. Back in a moment.
We're down to 56 tickets remaining. It is going to be July 15th from 5 to 7 o'clock after the Rays Red Sox game at the Hancock Bank Club. What this is an opportunity to mingle with Rays players, coaches, executives, broadcasters. Almost a one-on-one setting because they limit the number of tickets out there. They have just a few of these events all year, such as Thursdays, Wives on the Runway, Rays on the Runway fashion show, and then the summer social coming up. So make sure we're actually down to like 50 tickets now, exactly 50 tickets left in the Madden Summer Social. And guys, here's the latest bids on the big items. Carlos Pena hitting lesson is up to $4,600. The executive for the day, as Baden Hopp gets a swing and a miss, is also at $4,600. Those are our 2 biggest items right there. There you see Pena, 17 bids, and the executive for the day, 14 bids. The All-Star package heading to Kansas City to go watch the All-Star game, the Home Run Derby, airfare, hotel accommodations for 3 nights. That's up to $4,000. Party at the Trop, suite for $1,600. $3,700 includes food, and the David Price pitching lesson at $3,350. Guys, back to you.
All right, a little tap down to third. Rhymes gets a glove on it. It's going to be fair, and everybody's going to be safe. The base runners, Rutino had to hold at third with Davis moving into second. And the bases are going to be loaded. So an infield hit, and the Mets are 9 of their last 11 now.
I mean, just caught fire here. This little dribbler got to come in, play the short hop. Rhymes not able to do that. Gets the glove on it, but not able to come up with it cleanly. Now the bases are juiced. That's an amazing run by this Mets ball club, who we saw explode yesterday in the 7th inning with 2 outs and nobody on.
There's Quintanilla. The pitch is upstairs, a fastball. Bases loaded now. Baden Hopp inheriting 2 runners, and a runner aboard on his watch now on the infield hit.
Well, this is where you want Badenhop to do his thing, and that's to keep the ball on the ground. Got to start cutting runners down.
1-1 to count.
You've got a tall task right here at 5 runs, especially the way R.A. Dickey's been going, giving up just 1 hit, 9 strikeouts so far.
Well, Dickey hasn't given up as many as 4 runs in almost a month, and one of those was unearned back on the 17th of May. He's had a run of 3 starts. He hasn't given up any runs, and only 1 the start before that. So the Rays certainly have a lot of work to do, and right now they're down 5-0. They've been out hit 10-1. Liner into center. That's a base hit. Rottino scores. Davis heads to the plate. He scores. An RBI single by Quintanilla, driving in 2. The runs are charged to Price, and now it's 7-0.
I mean, these Mets hitters, one after the other, just locked in. Any mistake that's been made by the Rays pitchers here in the last couple of innings, Price now leading into Badenhop, has been hit.
You believe they are 10 out of their last 12.
Quintanilla, a nice job of going down. That ball was the bottom of the strike zone, but he just goes and gets it, lines it right into center field, and the Mets plate 2 more.
6 consecutive hits to open the 6th inning. And the pitch to Torres, the leadoff hitter in Terry Collins' lineup, is a strike. Foul out of play.
Well, this is where you would like, and not necessarily in this situation, but for sure in tomorrow's game, some of these Mets hitters need to have their feet moved. Pretty comfortable group right now up there.
Well, there was only one New York hitter without a hit last night, and that was Jason Bay. And the only hitter in their lineup tonight without a hit is David Wright. He walked his first time. Pitching matchup tomorrow afternoon, Santana and Hellickson. Ground ball, second base, Rodriguez Johnson 1. First base, they get the double play. Over to third base goes Nikias. And it's a 4-6-3 double play. Well, that stops the run of 6 consecutive hits, and the Mets going 10 out of 12 over the last 2 innings. Now Daniel Murphy. The pitch is a strike. And Murphy's hit in the 5th inning, a big one, a base hit into right that chased home 2 runs. At the time, it made it 3-0. The Mets have come back with a 4 spot here in the 6th, and a ground ball to short. Elliott Johnson's throw to first. 8 men come to the plate. The Mets score 4, and they lead 7-0. Well, R.A. Dickey has had things his way tonight. 65 pitches through 5 innings. First pitch to Elliott Johnson skied well foul out of play down the left side. Rays got a base hit, an infield hit from B.J. Upton with 2 outs in the first, and nothing since then. 2 strikes the count. 13 in a row retired by Dickey. 9 strikeouts tonight. He's been on a strikeout kick. He had 8 against Washington, 9 the time before against St. Louis, 10 before that against the Padres, and 11 before that against the Pirates. And Jason Bay makes the catch on the fly ball to left. 1 away. Let's check in with Laura McKeeman. Laura?
Thanks, Dwayne. We want to remind everybody to follow us on Twitter. It's at Sun Sports Rays. The Mets pitcher, R.A. Dickey, has a Twitter, and he actually tweeted about an adventure he took in the offseason where he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. He climbed it to raise awareness for the Bombay Teen Challenge. It's an organization that rescues and cares for women and girls at risk in Mumbai, and it seems like the Rays hitters feel like they're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro trying to hit his knuckleball tonight, guys.
Well, that's the task they have in front of them tonight. Down 7-0, out hit 11-1, and facing R.A. Dickey, who has been in complete control of the Rays and his knuckleball tonight. Will Rhymes hits a ground ball to second. 2 gone.
And the deeper it goes, it's starting to feel like Everest. On tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
One of those shots had R.A. Dickey in it, and it appeared that he had his iPod on. I was reading an account of that. He said he pulled that out just to help his concentration the closer they got, and he said it was just a matter of minutes till it froze up. That's a strike, and the count is now 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes.
What do you think, Dwayne? I'd be good like right here. I could handle it. Maybe here.
We could drive that far, right, and then just a little beyond that. Swing and a miss. Jennings out on the knuckleball. 10 strikeouts tonight for R.A. Dickey. 7-0 New York. By Columbia Pictures movie That's My Boy, starring Adam Sandler and Adam Sandberg, in theaters June 15th. And by your Bay Area Acura dealers. We're headed into the 7th inning with the Mets leading the Rays 7-0. They have dominated tonight. Jake McGee becomes pitcher number 3. He follows Price, who gave up 7 runs in 5 innings plus. Badenoch got credit for a full inning in the 6th. And now Jake McGee on for the 28th time.
Well, 20 1/3 innings of work, 24 strikeouts, good ERA, good opponent's average. You know, his job here is, you know, come in and got to hold this Mets team down. They have really lit it up here in the last couple of innings. Slow down this offensive onslaught.
Well, David Wright leads off the 7th. And the pitch is a strike call. One and one. Two and one. Ground ball. That's Elliott Johnson with the pickup. So one away in the 7th inning. Let's check in with Todd Cowens. Todd?
Dwayne, the way R.A. Dickey's going, you may see him start that All-Star game. This is one of the items on the Rays broadcast auction up for bids. It's the All-Star package. It's a trip for 2 to the All-Star game, the 83rd annual All-Star game in Kansas City on Tuesday, July 10th. It also includes 2 tickets to the Home Run Derby the night before, airfare and hotel accommodations for 3 nights, double occupancy. You also get 2 American League All-Star jerseys, as well as an autographed baseball from each Tampa Bay Rays All-Star that makes the team. Currently, that bid is at $4,300. Our 2 highest bids are the hitting lesson with Carlos Pena at $4,600 and Rays executive for a day at $4,600 as well. The party at the Trop is at $3,700. Also, we have 48 number of tickets remaining for the Madden Summer Social. The final bids in our Rays broadcast auction, and go to RaysBaseball.com/broadcast auction. The final bids will be taken at 10:15 tonight, so a little more than an hour left in tonight's auction, guys.
Yep. Well, the All-Star package, that's a great package. Kansas City, a good spot, kind of an underrated town in a lot of ways.
It is.
And it'll be very big during the All-Star break.
I think that's something you got to jump on. I got a chance to play out there, spend some time out there, own a home out there. Gorgeous facility, gorgeous part of the country, easy to get in and out of. Even if you're thinking about flights, the Kansas City airport, easiest in the country, in my opinion, of getting in and out. And it's phenomenal. And the stadium, I love the stadium. You know, when it was just. And they've old configuration with the grass,
better than it was.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous now. You got the plaza area there in Kansas City. You can hang out, a lot of fun. You might want to jump on it.
Cut and a miss by Hairston, fastball, and he's out on strikes. Yeah, and Kansas City barbecue too.
Oh, now tell me about it. That's the thing. If you don't think that I had the grill going out there every off day, every day game.
Yep. Here's the deal. Barbecue's different in every part of the country.
Yes.
And so you could go all over the country sampling great barbecue, and you don't want to miss the Kansas City variety.
They hang their hat on
barbecue. Yes, they do. Jason Bay fouls one out of play. That's a strike. Hey, it's got the barbecue sauce right there, ready to go.
4 men and a pig.
That's a strike. 0-2. Cut the foul ball. Jake McGee up at 98 with that fastball. Well, the Mets have come in here in the last two nights, have taken command, winning 11-2 in what Joe Madden felt was the worst game of the year for the Rays, and a game in which, you know, he gives himself and the team 30 minutes to wear a loss and celebrate a win. And he admitted before this game that last night took him a little more than 30 minutes to get through the process and the experience of that game last night.
Well, think about it. The two big innings, 2 outs, and nobody on. You're one pitch from getting out of either one of those innings, and instead the Mets put up 9 runs.
Fly ball into right. Joyce is there to make the catch. We go into the bottom of the 7th. It's 7-0 New York. Let's take a look at the Valero MLB scoreboard. The Yankees and the Atlanta Braves are in the bottom of the 5th, 2-1. Atlanta leads that one. Washington, a winner over Toronto. Strasburg goes to 8-1, got the win. Boston leads Miami 4-2. Baltimore up on Pittsburgh 5-1. All of those games directly affecting the Rays and how they stack up in the American League East. Here's Carlos Pena pulling one foul down toward the bullpen. That's a strike. Carlos nothing out of 2. Couple of strikeouts. 10 strikeouts on the night for R.A. Dickey, and he has walked no one. Dickey was 8-13 last year in 32 starts, 11-9 the year before. So he already has more wins this year than all of last year, and is starting to push. There's a one hopper into short right. Dickey's going to cover. He got over there with the shift being on. Mike Davis left trying to grab that ground ball. And on the shift, Pena is thrown out 4-1.
Well, we harp on it all the time. A ball to the right side, a pitcher you've got to be breaking. And here, this ball really, Ike Davis doesn't have a shot at it. He thinks he does, pulls off of it, but you got R.A. Dickey coming in behind, takes the feed, and gets the bag.
B.J. Upton. The pitch is a strike on the outside part of the plate. Strike one. It's a foul ball. And we touched on it earlier how when the Rangers drafted him and they saw that photograph of him, they thought that there was something peculiar about his right arm. Number one, it's amazing that they could discern that from a photograph. And if you pitch long enough, there probably will be something a little unusual about your arm.
Well, speaking of which,
a swing and a miss. Upton chased the knuckleball up. 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, there's no question, just from all the years of pitching, that my arm hangs different. Left arm doesn't straighten all the way out like the right arm. I mean, pretty straight now, but not nearly like the right arm. And even the left side, from all the years of throwing, and the arms, the muscles in the back of the arm that slow your arm down. You give that little pose bent over in the mirror, I look like a humpback.
There's Matt Joyce fouling one out of play. You do that often?
Well, every I mean, how often do I go to the gym?
And then a high five?
Yeah. Break the mirror, high-fiving myself. Yeah. Not as often as I used to.
The pitch is down. It's 1-1. But it's true. I mean, it just stands to reason that you're a left-hander, and that left side and the shoulder and the arm, it's going to be bigger than the right side. So there will be a difference. And at that time, Dickey was coming out of college. He'd grown up playing from the time he was a kid in high school and then through college. But it's amazing that just through a photograph they could discern that.
That's incredible.
2-2 now. Rangers grounded out. Upton has struck out. 11 strikeouts equals a career high for Dickey. And there's a fly ball to center field. Torres is there and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning. We are through 7-0 New York. In all New York tonight, and R.A. Dickey, who has 11 strikeouts. He had 11 against Pittsburgh on the 22nd of May. So the Mets and the Rays through 7 innings head into the 8th now in this 7-0 game, and Wade Davis becomes the 4th Rays pitcher of this game.
Well, we've seen Wade Davis really flourishing coming out of that bullpen on for the 21st time. Allows him to be aggressive and attack right from the first pitch.
Lucas Duda is pinch hitting here to open the 8th. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Martino and a walk and a double in this game. Officially 1 for 2. A foul ball. Got a piece of Lobatone. And the plate umpire Lance Barrett. Lobatone a little extra time to recover from that little foul ball. The Braves had taken a lead on the Brian McCann home run, his 8th of the year, in a game in Atlanta against New York. One ball and 2 strikes. Take the count to 2-2. From a day game tomorrow. Duda pops it up. That's out of play. A foul ball. Take a look at the American League East. Right now presented by Acura. The Yankees start with a game lead over the Orioles and the Rays. Toronto 6 back now. They're under 500. Boston 6.5. Three and 2 the count. Mike Davis on deck. And a walk drawn by Duda, pinch hitting. That opens the 8th. Right now, let's again check in with Todd.
Dwayne, less than an hour to go in the Rays' 6th annual broadcast auction. And yes, BA, much to your chagrin, the laser pointer is back as we go through the latest updated bids. Right now, Carlos Pena has the highest bid. His hitting lesson for kids 10 through 18 for an hour is up to $5,100. That does include 8 tickets to a Rays game, 8 pregame field passes, a group photo, personalized Rays bat for every participant. Our next highest bid, we'll go 2 down from there, the Rays broadcast auction all-star package. Trip for 2 to Kansas City, home run derby, all-star game, and also you have hotel accommodations for 3 nights and airfare as B.J. Upton makes that catch on the deep fly ball for the first out. That bid is up to $4,900. Again, all-star package, home run derby, all-star game, and you get autographs from any Rays all-stars that are in that game, and 2 all-star jerseys for yourself. The next highest bid will go up 1 to the Rays executive for the day. Lunch with Matt Silverman and Andrew Friedman. And that includes you and 3 guests. You also get a tour of the stadium for you and 3 guests, 4 Avant Air home plate club tickets right behind home plate, 4 VIP pregame passes for a Rays home game, a meet and greet with Joe Madden, a meet and greet with Dwayne B.A., as well as Dave and Andy on the radio side. You can deliver the lineup card to home plate when they exchange lineup cards with the umpires, a personalized Rays jersey, and also an inning hanging out in the radio booth and an inning hanging out with yours truly. That's $4,600 right now. Quickly, the Party of the Trop suite for 16 people, $3,700, and the pitching lesson with David Price, an hour. Again, kids 10 through 18, same deal as the Carlos Pena hitting lesson. That is at $3,350. Carlos leading David by a solid $1,750. You have until 10:15 to get your bids in. Go to RaysBaseball.com/broadcast auction, and less than 40 summer social tickets remaining, guys.
All right, thank you. Let's the latest update on the auction, and it's all for a great cause. 2 strikes the count here with a runner at first and 1 out. By the way, that item with all the broadcasters in it also includes, I think, an autographed picture of Todd Callis suitable for framing.
Wow. Yeah.
There it is.
That's a bit. Look at him. Good looking guy.
Pitch is down. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you're really nice to him, he'll personalize it. Best wishes, Todd Callis, but he'll spell your name right, the whole thing.
Yeah, that goes in. Yeah. That's nice representation, but just picture your name in that photo.
Swing and a miss. That is out number 2. Well, the Rays Baseball Foundation and the Rays heavily involved in the community, and over the last year investing over $2.8 million in the community. They support youth and education in this entire Tampa Bay region through a number of programs, grants, and scholarships, including Reading with the Rays, which was kicked off today by Matt Joyce. They started the program today, another round. Big Game James Club and all of the other programs that they have. Quintanilla takes a breaking ball down. 1 ball, no strikes. One ball, no strikes. Two and nothing. Runner at first base with 2 outs in the 8th. And a good fastball right there on the corner. Moves the count to 2-1. And a strike on the outside edge again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets scored 3 times in the 5th inning and added 4 in the 6th. And the Rays lineup has been dominated by R.A. Dickey. Swing and a miss. Quintanilla is out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wade Davis. Imagine in a frame of your choice, Todd Callis. 8th inning as we look at tomorrow's starting pitching matchup presented by Chevron. Johan Santana with a no-hitter to his credit, the only one in New York Mets history, against the reigning Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Hellickson. That's tomorrow afternoon. We start the bottom of the 8th with Hideki Matsui taking a knuckleball low. Well, R.A. Dickey not allowing a run here through the front 7. So he's gone 31 2/3 innings, consecutive innings without allowing a run, which ties the New York Mets club record set back in 1973 by Jerry Koosman. 2-1. So he's 1 out away from taking over that. There's a ground ball up the middle. Quintanilla with the throw to first. And the first man is retired here in the 8th inning. 32 consecutive scoreless innings now for R.A. Dickey. Moving beyond the left-hander Jerry Koosman in the New York Mets record book.
And the New York Mets, in the history of this franchise, have run out some big-name, big-time pitchers. You think about Dwight Gooden, you think about Tom Seaver, Koosman.
It's a strike to Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez way out in front of that. That's a knuckle changeup there. 64 miles per hour. And he gives you a little bit of that hurry up delivery with it as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he strikes out Sean Rodriguez. Well, a dozen strikeouts. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning. This is the only hit the Rays have tonight. It came in the first inning with 2 outs.
A do or die play for David Wright, the speed of BJ, and that's it.
It's Jose Lobaton. Ground ball to third. Wright with the long throw and the stretch by Davis, and it's a 1-2-3-8. Down go the Rays. We head into the 9th. 7-0 New York. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. Todd and Orestes will anchor the coverage from center field. Joe Madden's press conference. We'll have interviews from the clubhouse. BA and I will take a look at what has transpired here tonight. And so far, the big story, obviously, is R.A. Dickey and what he has done. He has dominated the Rays, who call upon pitcher number 5, J.P. Howell, Dickey allowing just that one hit. He's retired 22 in a row. And JP comes on now. And the pitch is a strike. Andres Torres batting from the right side now. There's a single and a double and a run scored. 2 for 4. And lines it into left. A leadoff base hit. He'll make the turn and hang on, and that gives New York a dozen hits. A 3-hit game for Torres.
Well, he got a breaking ball that just kind of stayed up in the zone. The ball was moving back towards him. And these Mets hitters have been on every mistake that Rays pitching has made. This ball just stays up in the middle of the plate.
David Murphy takes a big cut and fouls it back. Strike 1. And this one up the left field side. Sliced fair and down toward the corner. Torres will go to third. Murphy's in standing with his second hit. Double the opposite way.
Now, that was another breaking ball by JP that just kind of rolled in there. Didn't have that normal late break, that good depth. You see that knuckle curve and it just rolling. Look at that ball stays up. Murphy head down, stays right on it. Watch this. Watch it all the way in. Let that ball travel and then shoot it into the left field corner.
Now David Wright. He remains the only spot in this lineup without a hit. The third spot. Boston has taken a 10-2 lead in Miami. In the bottom of the 8th. And the pitch to Wright is a strike. And Wright unloads one deep into right center field. That ball will one hop the wall. Upton plays the carom. Single, double, and now a double by Wright. 2 more runs are in, and the Mets lead 9-0. Wright collects his first hit.
Now here's the pitch by JP. Fastball again. Look where it's at. Middle of the plate, right around the belt. David Wright just unloads on it. And then that's add a couple more.
Here's Scott Hairston. And the pitch is a strike. Hairston singled and scored in the 6th inning. That opened a stretch of 6 consecutive hits. He pops it up. And that will be Sean Rodriguez next to Elliott Johnson taking care of that pop-up. 1 away. Curtis Granderson has hit a 2-run home run in Atlanta. That's going to give the Yankees a 3-2 lead. Top of the 7th in Atlanta. Number 19 for Granderson. Here's Jason Bay. Pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Up and away. The Rays have been stung for 20 runs in the last 2 nights. Mets won last night 11-2, and they lead 9-0 in this one. That's a strike. Now 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes. David Price worked 5 innings plus, gave up 7 of the runs. He entered with a 240 earned on average and leaves with an over 3 at 3.01. A 2-2 count to Jason Bay. He fouls it back. Well, the Orioles had a couple runs. Chris Davis has hit a 2-run home run, his 12th. They lead in the bottom of the 8th at Baltimore over Pittsburgh 7-1. Runner at second with 1 out. And now it's 3-2. The second straight game, the Mets have 14 hits. 11 runs, 14 hits last night, 9 runs, 14 hits tonight. Ground ball into the shift, and Elliott Johnson's throw to first is in time. 2 outs with Wright still at second. A double by Wright was his 20th and gives him 36 runs batted in. There's Lucas Duda. He walked as a pinch hitter in the 8th. And the Rays put the shift on as a matter of course. There's a strike. And a pitch in there for a strike. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Wave and a miss. That takes care of Duda. And the New York Mets add 2. They lead 9-0. Middle of 9. See Sierra. It's our best Sierra ever. By Checkers, feast on. By Subway Restaurants, play hard, eat fresh. And by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. Here's Elliott Johnson leading off and hits the first pitch on the ground. A high throw by Wright, and it pulls Davis off the bag. Elliott Johnson is aboard on the throwing error. Well, 22 in a row retired by Dickey before the throwing error by Wright.
Here it is, just routine. Nice field there by Wright. Sets his feet, and you see the throw just sail. And Ike Davis has to come off the bag.
So the Rays get only their second base runner. Mets tonight are 7 of 14 with runners in scoring position. The Rays have yet to put a man into scoring position. And Will Rhymes takes the first pitch for a strike. They still have only one hit. R.A. Dickey has thrown a one-hitter before. That was in New York against the Philadelphia Phillies on August the 13th in 2010. Jeremy Hefner up in the bullpen now. This is the 100th pitch of the night, and it's drilled back into right field. Hairston makes the catch, and Elliott Johnson heads back into first base. One on with one out. So we're just a couple outs away from our postgame coverage, and during the postgame, the Rays broadcast auction will continue until 10:15. Swing and a miss. That ball gets away as Jennings missed the knuckleball, and down to second base goes Elliott Johnson. That summer social, they still have a few of those left, and you won't want to miss that opportunity. Of course, the All-Star game, it's in Kansas City this year. The bidding is still lively there. Little tap foul, the move up by Elliott Johnson on the pass ball. Between the two New York catchers right now, they've had 10 pass balls this year, which brings to mind the Washington Senators team in the 40s. They had a rotation filled with knuckleball pitchers. There's a pitch that gets over the mitt of Nikias, and it's all the way to the backstop, allowing Johnson to advance to third. That's going to be ruled a pass ball.
Well, there it is. Just made a lot more difficult catches tonight, but Nikias there just maybe closed his eyes on that one too. Up above his head, off the top of the glove.
1-2 now, and a ground ball to short. Quintanilla up with it. The Rays are going to get a run. Throw to first is in time. Jennings will get credit for a run batted in, and there goes the shutout. That the Washington team that had a rotation filled with knuckleballers, they had 3 catchers that had 40 pass balls that year, and you can see why. And you've got this guy, R.A. Dickey, on the mound tonight, who has pretty much a controlled knuckleball, which makes it so amazing. And he's given up the one unearned run to the Rays tonight. Base is empty now with 2 outs, and Carlos Pena will be up here. And he swings and misses. Strike one. One strike to count to Carlos. That package, the bidding has been brisk tonight for Carlos. Same thing with David Price. This pitch popped up. Foul ball. Dickey is over there to make the catch, and that ends the ball game. It's a 9-1 final. R.A. Dickey retires 25 out of the last 26 he faced. including a stretch of 22 in a row between the infield hit by Upton, 2 outs in the first, and Johnson reaching on the air to open the 9th inning. Just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And R.A. Dickey dominates tonight. He gives up 1 unearned run, just 1 hit, goes the distance. His 2nd complete game of the year. He went the distance in a shutout against St. Louis on June the 2nd in New York against the Cardinals. Beat them 5-0, and he notches the win 9-1 over the Rays to run his record now to 10-1. David Price, the losing pitcher, he's 8-4. We'll be with you tomorrow afternoon for the wrap-up game of this series on Sun Sports. Our coverage begins at 12:30 in high definition. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. We'll see you next on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers.